We're here at BMW Select, our first inaugural show. I'm Ravi, I'm the owner of CSF. We got Alan, general manager, and we decided to do a high-level show where we curated the show with all selected cars. So we got about 120 cars here. They were all pre-approved, we vetted them, they had to apply, and we're really happy about the turnout. I think we got some really standout builds. Alan and I wanted to take it up a notch and be like, hey, let's judge. We came up with 8 categories: Best M, Best in Show, Best Classic, Best Swap, Best vendor car, unicorn, which is basically like something out of left field that you will never see, something super rare. We got best track spec car, and we got best OEM plus build. So we got 8 categories. We got amazing awards from Chasing Jays. We really want to give you guys a little bit of an introspective, behind the scenes of how judging a car show goes. I've won best in show awards from the car builds I've built, so has Alan. So we feel like we're pretty qualified to be able to judge this. We're both huge fans of the BMW market, and we've been in BMW for a long time. So we're really excited to get this going. So come along and join us. First category we're going to judge is best swap. So this is best motor swap, engine swap, whatever you want to call it. We're obviously judging the engine, but we're judging like the totality of the car. So what else about the car centered around the engine swap? We're looking at wheel, suspension, interior, exterior, what other modifications they might have, whether it's car audio, different parts that they have on their car, high-end parts. We're not looking for like replica parts or knockoff stuff. We really just want to see a really nice complete build that's cohesive, not just a bunch of stuff thrown together just because you can. So we're going to start here. These are all the swap cars. We basically got a few cars here. What's this, like a M57 swap?
I think so.
So it looks like an M57 swap. Obviously he's got the single turbo, CSF radiator, of course. The interior is clean. I love the M Rain interior that he's put inside. It's actually a nice juxtaposition with like more of the rat rod style that he has on the car. It's kind of like very low key. Like when he rolled up, to be honest, I was like, yo, who invited this guy? I looked at Mark and I was like, no, there's no way we selected this car. But now I'm looking at it like it's got a vibe, It may not be my vibe, might not be your vibe, but it's got a vibe. So you have to appreciate that. OEM wheels, got the single turbo swap. The interior is nice. Like, interior looks brand new, so you got to give them points on the interior.
S50 turbo, everything in my friend's garage. We did everything. I had wheels that I sent in 2 months ago to get built for this. They were supposed to be done for today, but I mean, delays.
Well, we really like your car, Josh. So thank you, man. Appreciate you coming out.
No, yeah, for sure. Thank you for selecting me.
This will be number 5. This is Edgery's it's supposed to be a E36 M3 SC wagon.
What do we got
1988, 325 IS.
Okay.
Has a S50 swap from a 95 M3.
Okay.
Stock-ish, just has a CSF radiator, Turner Motorsport, shorty headers, and a Bimmer World track exhaust.
Nice. What's your favorite part about the car?
Favorite part? Probably the wheels.
The wheels? I like those. Those wheels are fresh.
Thank you. Cool.
I like some of the details that he's got on his car. He's got a nice wheel. He's got a nice gear shifter boot. The knob is nice.
It's on air suspension. See the switches.
Yeah. Very cool. The wheels are nice. I like it. He's got really clean wheels, juxtaposition with the patina. It's nice. He's got it. Okay, cool. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Do we know what motor this guy has?
I'm trying to figure that out. I don't even know who this is. This is number 12.
That's why we had a selected show. We don't need the clapped out shit here. You know what I'm saying? That guy's gonna be going back and forth hoping he gets in, All right, so this guy's got 1 seat, obviously a race car. He's got the roll bar.
The interior is really nice.
It's clean. I mean, he's got a really nice billet shifter in here, Momo steering wheel. Came with a carbon fiber helmet. He's got the gauges. I like his wheels. I don't know what they are, but I like them. He's got the nice little gurney flap. I mean, it's a serious swap car. Obviously, he's got a built motor. It looks like he's got nice details on it. He got some Volks. Old school, nice stud kit. Interior's cool. I haven't seen this print actually, to be honest. Is it a BMW print?
I think so.
Yeah. So it's a little different than the Rain. Obviously, it's got some green in it. Could be a BMW color. He's actually got a Rowell RWB steering wheel, so that's kind of cool. Nice little touch. This guy's got his own vibe. He's a BMW CCA member. Good on him. So, I'm going to be completely honest. All of these swaps are not like the type of swaps that we see sometimes that are like SEMA level builds, right? These are all very like, did it in my garage, or I'm continuing to build it, and it's very homegrown. You know, whether they're race purpose or they're just power purpose, but it's a vibe, right? They're all E30s. Personally, I kind of like the turbo one.
Yeah.
I think the fact that he's got like a super mint interior and a super nice engine, out of these four, I'd probably give it to him. We're gonna see if there's any other ones in the show, but right now, I really like Josh's car. So we're gonna move on to the next category. Jim, what was your like favorite?
The OEM Plus ones?
Yeah.
I like that white E46.
This white one over here?
That one's really clean. This E30 right here is really clean too.
This one?
Yeah.
So when we curated this, we actually wanted to park all these white cars together just because they're from different generations. This is kind of like the OEM Plus level category. You know, they got, you know, basically, Alan, how would you describe like an OEM Plus build?
OEM Plus build would be probably like, you know, not a lot of whole exterior aero, maybe upgraded wheels, upgraded suspension, upgraded exhaust. You know, some guys are just trying to keep it classic and looking clean, but they don't want to go over the top.
Yeah, just a little bit, you know, to kind of give you a little bit more fun, show people that it's a little different, you know, but something that you still daily, still keep it like really, you know, period correct. So we parked all these white cars together. Out of all of these, I mean, the Z4's sick. I like this.
It's super rare. You don't see them anymore.
Rare.
Yeah.
You know, it's like one of those like forgotten cars that nobody wanted, but now when you see one and it's kind of got a couple mods and it's lowered, it's got some wheels, not bad. This E30 convertible is pretty dope.
Yeah, this E30 convertible.
You know, this thing is clean. So this thing is fire. So he's got the BBSs with the gold hardware. He's got the rain seats.
Interior
is absolutely. He's got Chase and J steering wheel bolts, titanium. Shout out to Dominic. I got those on my car.
What's up with the rain seats?
The rain seats is just like the BMW M Stripe.
It's an old school M Stripe thing.
Yeah. But this is sick.
Super clean.
This is sick. So I would say this is probably, out of all of these that I'm looking at, is the one that I like the most. And it's a vert, you know? And he's got all the OEM parts. Like this guy still has this, like, you know, sunshade. Like, nobody has this
looks
anymore.
original.
Like people lost that. It's broken. It's tattered. So yeah, super clean. So
good.
Alan, I would say we come back for this car.
Okay.
This is definitely the one that I think out of the ones that we've seen.
I know this one.
row.
This is Kevin Lack.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
This one was clean. I think it's just a clean example of a E46.
Yeah, this is dope because obviously he's got the raised wheels. I'm a big fan of putting Japanese wheels on European cars. I've done it before. If you've seen some of the Porsches I've built or some of the other cars that we've done, I think it's a good look. I think, and you can never go wrong with raised, right? You get some TEs on there, it always looks good.
Recaro seats.
Super mint interior. She's got Sportsters. She got a nice BMW steering wheel, gear shifter. I mean, this is a nice build. It's a really nice build.
CSL diffuser, CSL trunk.
Sat there with a toothbrush and polished her exhaust just to come to the show, you know? Is this supercharged?
It might be.
Possibly supercharged. If you look, she's got the heat exchanger behind the grill. This is a heat exchanger. I think this is a VF kit.
VF kit, probably.
This is a VF Engineering supercharged kit, and that's a huge step up. That's actually something that we make for VF. That's how I noticed it peeking out.
And this E36 is also really clean.
And this E36 is nice too. Again, BBS wheels. I love the gold hardware just to kind of pop a little bit with the red center caps. He's got Recaros with the Pasha fabric, so this is something you would mostly see in a Porsche. But I like it in here because it goes well with the color of the car. So he's got the whole black and white theme going, mixing up with the red seat belts that kind of match the red center caps, the red BBS stickers on the wheels. He's got the vintage old school California plate too. So, you know, the sunset plate really goes with the car. It's a hard category so far. I mean, these three cars are real good. All really, really nice. This is a friend of mine's car, Heikki Verahanta. And his dad was actually the builder of the CSF 911. So he obviously knows something, been around a lot of really nice cars. He actually had new wheels that were supposed to be done for the show and they're not here. But this would be a really good example of like an OEM level build. I mean, he's got Stop Tech trophy brakes behind the competition wheels.
Yeah.
He's done his engine bay, obviously the paint match CSF S55 charge cooler in Yas Marina blue. And it's just a nice build that if it was driving down the street, you would think it's almost stock, but you know, he's got the brakes, he's got the performance, he's done pure upgraded turbos on here. It's a nice car. Yeah.
You know, like this E46 is really clean too.
This one? It's not as clean as that one though.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I'll just look at it before we talk about it.
Yeah. What about this M2, Alan?
That is really clean. It's pretty clean too. N55.
Yeah.
This is another lady-owned car. CSF intercooler.
Yeah. Lady-owned car again, nice Eventuri intake with the carbon fiber engine cover, CSF intercooler. It's a great color.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this stock with the blue thread, or is
I
this
think
aftermarket?
so. I think it's stock.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it
stock.
comes
So that's
with
a
the
cool
blue.
detail that I really never saw. I don't know if it's stock. I never saw this stuff, but if it is, great. She spec'd her car out nicely. If it's not, then she's gone over and above and kind of redone some of the upholstery inside. OEM wheels.
Apex wheels.
Apex wheels.
Apex
OEM
forged,
center caps.
Yeah. Apex forged wheels.
Yeah. And that's the thing about an OEM plus build. You
Yeah.
may not even know that it's aftermarket. It's supposed to be what's available, maybe from the manufacturer, and put it on a better car, or take it in from a better car and put it on your car. So it's nice.
Carbon diffuser, carbon trunk, spoiler. Is that Blake's car?
Yeah, this is Blake's car.
I think the other E36 was cleaner.
Again, this is a really nice car, and that just kind of shows you the level of competition that we're seeing at the show. This is super clean, super nice. I don't think it's as nice as the other E36. This is like a kind of M3 conversion off a 330i. Nice color. It's painted really well. A Mola red, same color as my car. He's got some carbon bits. He's got some air scoop intakes. It's a clean car.
Josh's car
Is the best one we've seen so
so
far.
far.
And then now we got to go pick
OE plus.
Out of those three, those will be the winner so far.
Yes.
Unless we find something else. Is there anything else here that
I-
we can see that would be a category guy? Track
Not,
spec?
not for. Yeah, we can see track spec here. We have a couple modifieds.
I don't think any of the modifieds here are going to win the category.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll just skip them.
Best M, not here.
No.
Best in show,
Not here.
Best classic, not here.
Not here.
Okay.
But my favorite so far is this one.
This one?
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. This thing is fucking
This
fresh.
is my favorite. The Caros caged KMP wheel.
So right now we're gonna start doing best track spec car. This is a well sorted, kind of looks like one of those driving on the weekend to the track HPD type of guys, right?
Yeah, and
he
it's
can daily this car if he wanted to, but he can take it to the track on the weekend. So he's got the roll bar. He's deleted the rear seats to save weight. He's got a KMP steering wheel. Got some nice carbon bits. Obviously he's put the Recaro seats in it. I don't see any harnesses, so maybe he's either taking them out to come to the show, but he doesn't have the harnesses on there. Apex wheel, stud kit, a little bit of carbon to go with it. He's got an exhaust on his car. Hockenheim silver is actually like a pretty track spec looking color.
Yeah, I think it's special, right? It's a M2 with the S55. How
Yeah.
many do we see here, right?
Yeah.
That's one thing that stands out.
S55. M4 GTS, F80. It's F82 is nice. It's really nice. Well, this is a Z3M, right?
That's a Z3M.
Yeah.
This is the LTW. It's a special E36.
Okay.
This is an E46 with like CSL conversion, like carbon roof.
Okay.
So these are, I would say, like OE plus.
Okay, Alan was the one vetting all these cars, so him and Mark did a lot of the work on checking these. So for me, this is the first time I've seen any of these cars. I wasn't really in the selection process, but obviously Z3M Coupe.
Z3M Coupe.
You never see these, the clown shoe as they call it. This guy's got a nice build, very OEM plus. It's almost like if you have this car now, you don't want to mess it up, So it's a lightweight E36 M3. Again, very OEM plus. These are all really nice cars. Very standout. Is this your car, sir? Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, sure. I'm the original owner. I bought it in '96.
Okay, wow.
I reside in the dealership for like 9 months. Nobody wanted them.
Okay.
They have no AC, no insulation, cloth seats, no radio, and then they come with what's called GT parts in the trunk.
Yep.
Big wing, which it doesn't have it on right now. It has the original low wing. Adjustable front splitter. In the early days, for the first 2 years, actually, I was a BMW instructor, so I drove it. The car is in Willow Springs, Button Willow, Fontana, Las Vegas, Laguna Seca. And then I realized that I wasn't going to be able to replace it if I ever damaged it.
Yeah.
So after 2 years, I just kind of use it now for events like this. Just came back from Car Week, and so I just enjoy having it. It's a simple, super comfortable car to drive.
Do you have any modifications on the car, or is this completely when you bought it from the dealer?
It's the modifications are minimal. At this point, I put some of the GT stuff on it, so it has the adjustable splitter and it has the front strut tower race.
Very cool. Thank you. Appreciate you sharing about your car.
Thanks so much. Thanks for.
And the fact that he's the original owner is super cool. I mean, this could be a unicorn car, Alan.
Yeah, it's not very many LTWs out there.
So let me write this down because I you know, we got to kind of see. There's a lot of great cars. Some of these might fit into certain
different categories.
So we're trying to like really kind of give credit to all the cars that we can and kind of place them in different categories. So I would say this is for best unicorn.
There's another one, right-hand drive, probably Euro spec. This looks like a track car.
Yeah, it's more of a track car.
This is a track car.
Got some Snitzer stuff on it. It's cool.
AP Racing brakes.
It's a track car.
I think this is an actual AC Snitcher E30. He has all the ACS parts on it.
AC Snitzer is a big tuner from Germany. It's one of those things that's like hard to get parts. Kind of got that old credibility brand. So, you know, people kind of geek out when they see AC Snitzer stuff, especially some of the NLA stuff that you can't buy anymore. Super rare. So the fact that he's got some AC Snitzer stuff is pretty nice.
This is really nice. Daytona Violet.
Daytona Violet. This is an awesome color. One of the best colors that BMW ever came out with. Really nice interior. It's got the gray on purple combo, which is always really nice. Clean.
It's clean, yeah. So we have two M4 GTSs
so we got
here.
two M4 GTS. These are pretty much the two colors you'll ever see, the white
and the gray.
And the gray. This is a nice OEM Plus build. BBS's.
Probably a track build. This guy.
CAE shifter.
Yeah. It's like nobody ever sits in the back seats.
Yeah, he's got a race seat in it.
Oh, and it's an E90 M3, yeah.
Yeah, it's an M3. It's clean. Okay, cool. So
far
far out of this whole area, Kevin Lack, best OEM Plus with a white E30 vert.
Got the swap guy.
This is a unicorn dude.
Okay.
This car.
It's all right. Alpina.
Okay. These just got nice wheels. Okay.
What's up, man?
Yo, I got the man right here, Chris Castro from Castro Motorsports. He's been a great R&D partner to us. We've become friends, and he's a great CSF customer. He uses our cooling systems in all his cars. And I think undoubtedly, not arguably, but undoubtedly, he makes the best resto mod classic E30s. He's been doing a killer job with the E30s, and he brought out all these cars. We're judging right now, and it's a hard category to judge because all the winners are pretty much right here. So, okay, so you built all these.
Yeah, so we built all of these.
Yep.
Obviously, we got some E36s, some E30s. This is probably the only OEM E30 M3 that we have here. Yeah, it wasn't a full restoration, but on this one we just did fully refreshed and gave the engine a partial restore. Customer wanted to keep it pretty much all stock. This is what we normally do to them. So this is an S54 swap, 6-speed, all the goodies. Of course, all of these cars are running the CSF radiators. All of them have AC, even the turbo one that we'll talk about. A lot of E30 M3 and non-E30 M3 owners are opting to just swap the motor because the S14 is great and it's historic and all, but it's freaking gutless. It just doesn't have nothing, no punch. So we do a lot of this, and you know, we like to do super OEM plus and make everything function and work. Like my idea behind swapping these cars is this car can theoretically go to any shop and get serviced and worked on as if it was a regular BMW.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I have people that, you know, don't even realize that they're swapped. You know, but like I said, this is NA. We got some forced induction ones. These two E36s that we have on this side. So they're both S54 swap. This is your OEM plus. AC, everything, all the goodies. Of course, the CSF radiators, always on everything. CSF oil cooler and all of them that run it. So this is what a normal customer who is looking to upgrade their S52 would be getting. This is the next best thing. It's theoretically a plug-and-play swap, minus a few things here and there. And then we have something that's, I mean, this is a track car. Obviously, we went a little overboard and made it a really nice track car. But this is my partner Rob's car. This is going to be a full track build, but this is no AC. We ripped out everything that you don't need on the track. So, but again, plug and play swap. This one, my brother went ahead and shaved the bay, made it extra clean. The whole front end shock tower has always been stitch welded, but you know, he went the extra mile, seam sealed it and made it like a really nice show car, which is great because it showcases, you know, the radiator, the swap, you know. And then we have,
let me say something real quick before Chris explains the rest. We're judging some categories right now, and Chris is so good at what he does, his cars fall into every category. We're judging best swap, best track car, best unicorn, best M, best classic, best in show, and he literally can, and best OEM plus. He literally can fall into any category with the cars that he's built. So Chris might be taking home a shelf for all the hardware he's collecting today too, man. And best vendor.
Nice. This is an E30. This is not an M3, but it still packs a punch. This is an S52 swap that's been supercharged, obviously. This is the VF supercharger kit that we're running on this one. It's non-intercooled, easier to fit than most other kits.
It's getting hard now.
Again, CSF radiator, still running a fan clutch. This car doesn't have an oil cooler, so we're not opting for that. As you can see, super OEM plus. Like, if someone can't appreciate a nice engine bay after looking at some of these, I don't know what to tell you. E30 M3, that's S54 swapped, but the customer said it's not enough power, so he asked us to turbo it.
Wow.
This car on low boost will make about 500-600.
Wow.
The living horsepower that this thing's gonna live on is probably about 850, which is way more than this car can even handle as far as traction. But the customer said, I want it, and we delivered. This car has a fully built motor. What's funny is this is an RMS aftercooler casting that I stuck CSF cores in.
Oh wow! So there's a liquid to air cooler in here. Wow.
So
okay.
This is it.
So this is the air to water turbo
Correct.
build.
Correct.
Wow.
And so I stuck CSF cores in there.
Ooh.
You know.
Say one more time which engine this is.
This is an S54
Yep.
that we turbocharged.
Turbocharged.
Yep, it's fully built motor.
Best engine.
CSF radiator, CSF oil cooler,
Castro best engine swap.
and
Yo, say less, dude. We're giving the award best engine swap right here, dude. I've seen enough, dude. So this is the car.
You said enough.
Don't go anywhere. Said enough, Chris. You killed it on this.
That's it.
And you know, first slap. We don't have to do more than that. He's got nice wheels, Willwood brakes. Obviously, you need some stopping power for all of this.
Yep.
It's beautiful, Chris. This is nice.
I had a E46 M3 CSF radiator that we accidentally made a pinhole on.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I made the heat exchanger out of.
Oh, nice. Okay, cut it down.
So we cut it down,
Okay,
and that's
cool.
what's behind there.
I love it too. Fully tinted out. Can't see
Yeah,
inside.
it's a little murdered out.
Yeah, it's dope, dude. Like you'll
customer's
never know
choice,
what's
but
you
nope.
never know what's under this, dude. This is really
I
clean.
can let you hear this
fully
thing,
murdered
too.
out. If you haven't heard, if you haven't known, now you know. Chris Castro Motorsports, the best to ever do it. I ride with this guy. He literally builds the best cars. If I ever am gonna build a classic resto mod E30, E36, the only person I'm gonna go to is Chris. So Chris, thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming out,
Thank you so
man.
much, of course, man. Thank you guys.
Stock motor.
Stock motor.
Stock motor.
Factory motor.
Just refreshed.
So you said this is best OE plus.
This one, and then we give that guy best classic.
There's one more E30 there. I think it's really nice too. So we'll check that one
so
out.
swap for sure is Castro's.
Yeah, we already gave one.
S54 turbo white one.
Yep.
This is also
OE plus.
OE plus. So OE plus right now.
This
we're
could
looking
also
at
fall
Kevin.
into M.
That's M.
That's the two
Yeah.
categories we can play with.
So we'll put Castro, red, E30 M3, and then so
Check off the swap. It's already done.
swap's done. So classic is Castro or Kevin's.
Yep.
And then we got best M could be Castro, right?
Yep. Or OE plus.
Or OE plus. Really like that white vert E30 over there for OE plus. But then when you come up here and you see this car that's been completely resto modded, it's a whole different level. And I think we have to take that into consideration, right? Like everything can look good from 10 feet away or a picture on the internet, but when you get really close and intimate with the details, you can hear it from the builder of what he's done. He explains to you that he's completely redone the entire undercarriage, which I've done on my own personal cars, and I know how much work is involved. It's just, that's how you separate a great car from an exceptional car. And what Chris does is exceptional. So I'm really, I really like this. I mean, even if you look at the inside, the interior is all redone. He's got some M, bits in here. It's super clean. You really can't beat this red on tan combo either with the gold BBSs. It's a nice car. So, Chris, thank you, brother. We really appreciate it. That category got really hard after I got to Castro.
For sure.
Because that's why we invited the vendors we did, because typically when we go to shows, the best cars are with the vendors. I mean, that's just the way it is. Vendors want to pick the best cars to display their brands, and the shops want to bring the best work. So we're now going to do track spec. We invited SoCal Drivers Club, Beamer Challenge. CSF is the title sponsor of it. And we just wanted to kind of show some people some of the track spec cars that are from the local area. Hey, thanks for coming, bro. Appreciate you. This is a 240 race car, M240 race car. It's a full GT car. This is a crazy level. This is a BMW OEM factory car. So you have a whole different level of track spec here. Master switch, full cage, and that's a bullshit cage, like a real cage, race seats. It's got all the suspension, the wheels, the wing. It's got a crazy wrap done by Rhino. Rhino's our boys. I mean, when you're comparing a track car, this is kind of next level.
This is as track as it gets.
It's almost cheating though, because you can buy this from BMW. You know, a lot of these other guys are doing track spec type builds. We got a really cool E92 M3 wagon. Let's check this guy. Yo, buddy, tell us more about your car.
It's a 2011 E90 M3. I think the basic thing about it is that I built it to kind of be like a GT3 chase car.
Okay.
Right? I don't got GT3 money, but I'm gonna try to build something that can keep up on the track with it. So that's probably the whole theme of the car. Yeah, but I still drive it everywhere. I still drive it to the gym, track days, stuff like that. Yeah. So
cool. So tell us about some of the mods you got. Like, what do you got with the steering wheel?
I did a Ridgeline Motorsports steering wheel. Okay. I did it because I like the feel of the paddle versus KMP. Gotcha. In my opinion, Carbonius airbox, full Turner suspension, KW Club Sport 2-ways, pretty basic stuff. Seats and carbon roof is probably the biggest thing. Wow. Okay. Because E90s don't normally come with carbon roof, only the E92s. Okay. So I wanted to just kind of match, the comp car look. So I did a carbon roof swap. Very cool. Yep. Really nice car, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, so we're judging best track spec, but we want to talk about what track spec means, because most people think it's about going to a racetrack. We also have a lot of customers who do a lot of drag racing, half-mile racing, and one of the best to do it is Steve Sufi from Euroclass. He's the owner. He's been a great supporter of CSF. He uses our product on all his cars. He's a great R&D partner, and he's from San Diego County.
That's correct.
And Steve, tell us about your Z4, because this thing is wild.
Yes, sir. So this car is 2015, bought it completely stock. We ordered the body kit. It's a V1 GT3 kit. We installed it here in San Diego by a shop called 2M Autoworks. And then basically we took the motor, we built the motor, like high compression motor, basically just to have a lower boost so it can make more power. And then we built the transmission. Transmission has DCT transmission, and then built transmission with the Aspect-X clutches. Port injection, full E85, full CSF cooling system, radiator, dual pass oil cooler, and then also the intercooler was custom made. I think it was a 6-inch intercooler.
Big boy. The Magnum series stuff. I remember when you called me. This car was at SEMA, what, like 4 years ago now?
Yeah, basically, that's correct.
And he's obviously changed the wrap a couple times.
Yep.
And this is pushing how much?
About like 920 right now.
Steve's been going to no-fly zone.
920 wheel.
Yeah, he done the shift sector stuff, no-fly zone. What's the fastest half mile on this?
I haven't done, only my fear was all the time at half mile is my front lip all the time. After 160 just crashes on me. About best 60 to 130, I did 4.7, 4.6 right now. Okay. So trying to probably increase the boost more once I upgrade the turbo a little bit more bigger now. So we'll see what that 66 turbo will do. 6666 basically built by Pierre. So
if you think you got a faster car and you're in SoCal, then Steve, he'll be in Mexico waiting for you. We're going to see a lot of his other G80 builds. He's got single turbo builds all up in his booth on the side.
That's correct.
Steve is the guy to go if you're looking for big power. He knows the recipe. He knows how to do it. If it's a go-to shop for me, if you're in the SoCal area and you're going for the big power stuff, I go right to Steve. No questions asked. So check out Euroclass. Steve, thanks for showing us your Z4, man. I've always been a huge fan of this build, man.
Thank you for having us. Of course. Thank you for having us, guys.
So we're here with Allison. We've got your car here. This is a E46 M3. Alan told me it's pretty much a track spec car. You take this to the track?
Yeah.
Tell us all about it.
Full track car, basically. I got it stock.
Tell us about what you've done on the inside. So you got some Recaro seats.
Yeah, so I have my
full race
Recaros,
seats.
no interior from the seats back. I have a CAE shifter, safety. We can pop the hood.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's pop the hood and see what you got under there. Okay. I know, right?
Just
yeah.
S54.
You got some Motons?
Yes, two-way Motons.
All day.
Wow. How often you go to the track, Allison?
So normally, probably like, as of lately, a few times a year only. But before it was like once a month.
Okay.
Favorite track right now is Big Willow. My fastest time there is a 1:31.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Good for you. You got a huge spoiler.
Yeah.
Front diffuser, splitter. Sorry, splitter. Let me correct you. You got the Volks, the wing. Very cool. And do you do the work on your car, or who works on your car?
So I do some work, like little things at home, you know, and then the big work is mostly Matt at TechCraft.
Okay.
JMP, Race Cars Unlimited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you. Well, Allison, I appreciate you showing us your car. So we're still judging best track spec car. We have Ryan Castro from Motorsports Hardware. This is his car. I see him at Global Time Attack all the time. It's one of the fastest cars out there. He's been building and can continue to progress on this car. He's an amazing driver. Obviously, this is a contender for best track spec, undoubtedly. So Ryan, why don't you tell us a little bit more about your car?
So, completely stock engine.
Yeah.
Just straight pipe exhaust. You know.
The simple things.
It's all about aesthetics.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. So we got a big Chevy race engine. It's dry sumped, 434 cubic inch, 730 crank horsepower, NA, naturally aspirated, no turbos. CSF, Ravi's helped us out with a custom cooling system. But this car is continually developing. So you change one thing, it screws up other stuff. So it's always going to keep evolving until you stop and you get tired of it. So she's wild, she gets rowdy, she gets down. 18 by 12 square, fat tires, and nice livery.
So one thing I noticed, and a lot of people who don't know a lot about Global Time Attack, it's all about the fastest lap. So Ryan's really optimized a lot of the aero that's on the car. As you can see, he's blocked off his grills. He's got a center feed scoop to get into the cooling system that exits out through the hood. He's built this front splitter for all the air deflection to go around the wheels. It's really, really nice. He's got his brand's hardware on it, which is some of the best in the market. Inside, it's been fully gutted. The only thing you have in here is what you need, right? I mean, let's just call it the way it is. He's ultimately trying to cut as much weight as possible to be able to go the fastest time. What have you done on the inside, Ryan?
It's fully caged, built by RS Motorsport, Riley Stair. Done a lot of the best cages and a lot of the most competitive cars out there. We could use a lot of cleanup on the electrical side, so we're on the good side of the car right now. We have the cage, we have full electronics, we got traction control, we got a Samsung sequential, so this car is a sequentially shifted with auto blip down shifting. Wow. And just a solid rear.
What ECU is this on?
This is on a Haltech Elite.
Haltech Elite, sequential transmission. I mean, we're like, if you don't know, we're talking like big money right now. We're talking like $20,000 in his ECU and
credit card debt.
Yeah. So okay, just so people can get a dollar number on it, how much is a sequential and how much is the ECU?
Oh man, the sequential is probably, I want to say about 20K. The ECU is probably another good 6 to 7 grand.
Yeah, and then you got to wire it. You're
traction
always
control. You got to tune it. So
yeah, he's got the electronic dash screen. I mean, this is really, really nice, Ryan. I'm always impressed when I see your car because you're also super fast. Let's give a relatable time for people. Like, what's your fastest time at Button Willow?
Button Willow, this car does a minute 43.
That is absolute fucking lightning fast.
Street tires.
Like, that is wild. What class are you in with this car?
Limited.
Limited class. 143. It's literally a contender every time he goes to the racetrack. So Ryan, thank you for talking to us about your car. Really appreciate it. And thank you for coming out to the event, bro. Appreciate it.
having us.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm here with Ellie. He's one of the guys in charge of Beamer Challenge. We've been working together for about 4 or 5 years now. It's the first time I've actually ever met him. So Ellie, thank you for coming out. I really appreciate it. CSF is a title sponsor for Beamer Challenge, which is a West Coast BMW race-only series. This is your car.
Yeah.
Tell us all about it.
So basically it started as a drift car, then it escalated from there. It was slippery slope. So we end up getting it turned into a full race car except for the windows. We haven't stripped it completely because sometimes we take it an open trailer. Beside that, we put the CSF cooling items, the Zebulon Aero with headers, exhaust, GRZ Motorsport suspension, PFC BBK. So it's getting there. It's almost a finished product, but you know, it turned out like a really nice car for time attack.
Can we pop the hood?
Absolutely.
Nice. Okay. So you got the Turner carbon airbox?
Yeah, the carbon airbox. HTE tuned it remotely with EAS in Anaheim.
How much power does this car put down?
It put corrected 335 to the wheel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a really well-sorted track car. You know,
Exactly.
It's got enough power, but he stripped the weight. He's got obviously great suspension, great brakes, and he's really kind of balanced the entire car. And what class do you race this in?
It's in B1.
B1.
B1 class, yeah.
Okay.
Almost
Very
the
cool.
unlimited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a great car. How long have you had it?
This one about 7 years.
Okay.
7 years.
Yeah.
But in this shape, it's been 4 years.
So what else do you still want to do to this car?
Completely got it. Take the windows out, the glass, shave some weight. We still can remove about maybe 100 pounds to make it more competitive. And in the long run, I'm not sure if we're gonna go turbo or leave it dependable and not touch it.
Yep.
For the most part, just some weight shaving. It can use another like 100, 150 pounds.
Absolutely. Well, I really appreciate it, Ellie. Thank you so much.
Oh no,
for
thank you
coming.
for having us. We appreciate everything you've done for us for
And
sure.
Amazing car. It's great to see it in person.
Thank you for sure. Thank you.
I'm here with Sam, one of the owners of Striker Performance. We've known Sam for a few years now. They're great supporters of CSF. They've been good R&D partners for us on our new Gen 1 B58 manifold coming out as well.
Thanks for having us, dude. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming, Sam.
Yeah.
So tell us about one of your race cars. This is mostly a half-mile car,
yeah,
right?
so, I mean, I know you from way back in the shift sector days, doing the half-mile stuff, but yeah, this is our half-mile car. It's a N54, fully built. We're running it on a standalone ECU. So we deleted the direct injection, running on PI only, direct port nitrous. The thing is an absolute riot to drive. It should be good for right around 1,000 horsepower at the tire. Geared for a half mile, so we have a lot of fun out there at the half mile events, and obviously we're sporting the CSF radiator and intercooler as well. So the N54 intercooler on this car is doing just fine at 1,000 wheel horsepower, so it's an absolute riot, and everything's holding up great. So
how much power is this pushing now?
So we ran out of injector at about 34 psi.
Okay.
Stepping it up to 2200s, and right now it's about 9 to the tire.
9 to the tire.
But yeah, we'll spray it at about 40 psi. It should be over 1,000 to the tire.
Wow, that's crazy.
So
I mean, we're talking about one of the most powerful N54 builds in the state right now. The guys at Striker definitely know what they're doing. What's the fastest half mile time so far?
It's a bitter subject, so we ran a 169, 9.5.
Okay.
And ended up popping the motor. That was on a stock motor, so it's a completely different ball game. Shift sector's coming back at the end of the year, which I'm super hyped about. We got No Fly Zone Arizona coming up, No Fly Zone California, so it's boost season. Race season's right around the corner, so we're gonna have a lot of fun.
What are you gearing? Like, what are you trying to get to? Like, what's
180.
Your 180?
Plus, that's our goal for right now.
Yeah.
And just have fun with it. The car's been down for a little bit, so we're trying to have a good time with the car, get our name out there, and hopefully not blow it up for a little bit.
Cool. What have you done to the inside? Obviously, you've gutted everything out of here.
Yeah, so it's a fully gutted interior minus the roll cage, obviously. We have nitrous tank and a surge tank in the back that's supplying all the fueling for the car. We just got this thing back up and running, so it's not the prettiest right now, but we got the Nuke Performance surge tank in the back with dual 520 fuel pumps that feed from the factory fuel tank to the surge tank that supports all of our fueling needs. So,
wow,
it's a fun setup.
Sam,
it's an absolute
I'm
riot.
super excited to see what you guys do at like the next half mile event. I know you guys have gone through some you know, bad setbacks with the motor
Headaches, to say the
blowing
least.
and all the
Yeah.
headaches. I've been there too. You've seen
it's
all
racing.
my cars,
Yeah.
and it's racing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we all say. So, but I'm excited to see what you guys do. Hopefully you get that 180.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming out to the event.
Yeah, I'll take you
Thank
for a rip
being,
sometime, for sure.
Yeah, thank you for being great CSF
Dude,
customers.
thanks for having us. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Appreciate it, guys.
Cool.
Right now, we're talking
best
about best track spec, and the fact that it's really a motorsports category, and to decide if we're going to give it to a track car or a half mile or drag car is really difficult because a lot of the cars that we're looking at are owned by shops. And Southern California being one of the best areas for motorsports and the high level of BMW culture, we're looking at cars from Stryker, Race Car Unlimited, Garagistic,
Euroclass.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are the best of the best in the industry. So this is going to be one of the harder categories to judge. And to be honest, right now, I don't know who we're going to give it to. So let's move on to the next one. Wow. I had no idea how to do that.
We definitely weren't doing that.
Yeah. I'm here with Devin. Devin was a last-minute entry, way late. He hit us up after we had closed down the selection process. Sent an email, showed us his car, and I was like, yo, Alan, we got to get this car into the show. So tell us more about it.
So this is it started out life as a 35 IS.
Okay.
So it's a Z4. I was inspired by like the 2014 Super GT, Good Smile Racing Team, all the other Super GT. So back in 2014, I really wanted this kit. So the kit is full carbon.
Okay.
And this is a race replacement version. So this one is from Germany through Motorsport 24.
Okay.
So this is the only one kind of stateside for the version 2. There's a version 1 that's not as wide, but this one is the only one in California really right now. But I did all the work myself, converted it all. It has like a quick release front end, just so that I can load everything in. Same thing with the rear.
Okay.
But basically, it's my street and track car.
Gotcha. And what have you done to the motor? Is it stock right now?
Right now, it's stock, full bolt-on.
Okay.
Custom titanium exhaust, full carbon, downpipe, HKS blow-up valve, ECS stuff, VSRF, basic intercooler, and downpipes, and then. All the fab work stuff, or just all this to put together, we just do through my shop, and then same thing with the wrap.
And are you done with the car? Are you still building on the car? What's next, or like where are you at with this?
I want to go lower, but I think I have to go like custom suspension, like MCS or something.
Okay.
But I might do like Swiss springs and air cups, just because I'm so low in the front.
Yeah.
And then the problem is the rear. This still retains the factory hardtop. So I have a cage, but I wanted to keep the factory hardtop, so it all still works.
Okay.
But if I go lower, I have to chop the frame, and then I lose my rear window, and I'm in between.
Is this a full-blown track car? Is it like a show car, a street car? Like, what do you do with this car?
We took it to Button Willow. I just finished it like a month ago.
Okay.
We took it to Button Willow. I need to get a tune, but the whole point is to really track it more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, awesome car. Thank you for showing us.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to seeing the rest of the build. If you need to do anything with the cooling system, you know where to find us.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no,
So,
I'm gonna hit you guys up.
Thank you, Devin. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming to the show, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's everything. It's a classic.
Yeah.
It's a perfect example of a swap, classic, modified, and M. So it's all.
This is owned by Mike Burrows, owner of Stanceworks. And if you don't know who Mike is, you're living under a rock. He's built like amazing cars, and obviously this is like a great representation of what he's all about. And just like Alan said, this fits into so many different categories. It's like a super clean OEM Plus type build. It's got a motor swap inside. He's had this car for a long time, and he's just refinished it, refreshed it. It's really hard not to place him somewhere because it's such a nice car. It's got an S54 swap. He actually helped us with the development of our S54 cooling system. So the radiator oil cooler combo, we actually built it off Mike's car. So Mike's been a good friend of CSF. Really appreciate him coming to the show. You don't get something cleaner than this, to be honest. It's really, really nice. All right. So, as we've been jumping around, we're now into the warehouse portion. This is where we wanted to put all like the really exceptional cars that we selected. We're really happy to have Keith here from I&D. I&D is the epitome of tastemakers when it comes to BMW all over the world. They're based out of the Chicago area. We're fortunate enough to have two of their exceptional builds out here. They built this car, and it's still evolving. What, 2 years ago, 3 years ago when you started this car?
Yeah, I would say 2.5, 3 years ago.
Okay. And you know, I can tell you a couple details, and I'm gonna let you kind of run with it. This is an M4 that's being painted, not wrapped, painted British Racing Green. The entire car was completely stripped and painted. I mean, that is like next level stuff. Keith, why don't you tell us a little bit more about the details, some of the new stuff you guys added to the car too?
Yeah, it's always evolving. We're really big into the Alpha N stuff, as you can see. We have the Alpha N hood, and as of 48 hours ago, the fenders just went on. All carbon, keep it classy, mostly painted.
Let's talk about that because, you know, I&D, they have their own paint shop. And one thing that I think that separates what you guys do that I'm a big fan of is the way that you guys take full carbon parts, leave a little bit of it exposed, and kind of really give it that OEM plus look.
Yeah.
You may not know this. This is a full carbon hood. And if you look at the details, they've blended the carbon in the hood just enough to show people that this is a full carbon hood.
Yep.
And same thing with the new fenders. You've left the vents exposed in carbon, but it's a full carbon fender as well, correct?
Yep. Yeah, for us, less is more.
Yeah.
OEM plus, how it should look from factory with options, but less is more again.
And you have a really nice front splitter. You got the Stratodale grills, and you got the yellow DRLs, which I know is really popular.
Yep.
On the inside, can we pop the hood?
Yeah, please.
Cool, and we'll talk about the inside. Let's talk about the interior first. So tell us about the interior while we're here.
Traditional, M Performance wheel, M Performance everything else. You have the full line cage and closeout as well.
Okay.
With the harnesses. Interior is pretty much clean, you know, OEM plus stuff. We have the bolster protectors, screen protector installed, stuff like that.
Wow. The thing about I&D is because they sell all the accessories, they never miss a detail. Whatever they have on their car, everybody else wants. So, you know, they really go like to that next level. Wheels, these are the new BBS Duras, correct?
Yep.
Really nice gold finish. Ooh, flex on them, Keith. Yeah, and then you got the CSL style trunk, correct?
Yeah, it's OEM CSL trunk,
okay.
OEM CSL lights.
I mean, those lights are big money. How much do OEM CSL lights go for?
$7,500 to $8,000, I think.
$7,500 for the lights, guys.
They're always changing, right?
Yep. You got an Isomin exhaust on this?
Yep, full Isomin. It's sport exhaust with race mid, I believe it is. With OEM M Performance carbon diffuser and side skirts and front lip.
Factory carbon roof, correct?
Factory carbon roof. These the brakes are off of a CS.
Oh, CS. So this is a ceramic brake conversion. They got the brakes from another car and put them on the car. I mean, that's big money right there. Like BMW ceramic brake conversion is probably north of 15, 20 grand, right? I mean,
it's pretty heavy.
Yeah. A lot of people may have seen this on our Instagram a lot from the last couple of years. This was actually one of the development cars that we used. We were fortunate enough to have I&D lend us the car for our billet intake manifold for the S58 engine. So this was actually serial number 1. And we really appreciate you guys letting us use your car while the car was out here.
Yep.
We took this to Weekfest, was it last year? And won Best M of the show. It's obviously got the fall line strut bar, full even Turi carbon fiber air intake system, some of the golden wrench bits in green. I mean, everything's great.
So we have your first one, and now we have your latest one.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go over there and talk about the M2. This is the new 2023 build. Yep. It's Zandvoort Blue. It's an M2. By far, you guys have the best M2 build in the world. Let's talk about from the outside in. Like, tell us about some of the aero that you guys have put on this car.
As you can see, we pretty much hit the ground running right away. We have the full Alpha N splitter, Alpha N fenders, the hood, MHC side skirts, Alpha N rear wing, diffuser, floor panel. Everything Alpha N is spot on. It's all OEM fitment. It's great.
If Fast and Furious was like rich Europeans, this would be the car. I mean, that's how I look at this car.
I really love the wing.
Yeah, the wing sets the car off. And to be honest, like I'm not a fan of an M2 from the back. Yep. I feel like the proportions are off. But with you guys adding the wing and the trunk lid, it really, really sets it off. Yep. I've been driving this car a little bit this week, and I've been having a great time. So it's you obviously got the BBS wheels with the champagne face. The 3-piece setup is really nice. You got the cage inside, carbon roof. You told me that you have an upgraded shifter in here too.
Yeah, so it's the Rogue Engineering one with the bushing as well.
So I've been driving it, and this shifter feels so nice.
Yeah.
You might not be taking this car home to Chicago,
Dude,
I'll tell you
I
that.
have to fight you for it.
You might be taking one of my cars home instead. So
Okay, we can come up with something.
Yeah, but you got CSL seats, so these came out of an actual CSL.
Yeah, with the steering wheel as well, with the Alcantara.
Wow. So a lot of CSL bits. I mean, we're talking about 25, 30 grand seats in this car. The wheel, the shifter, all the details in here are just like next level.
Yep, it's a very fun car. It's everything the M4 offers in a smaller package.
I've driven both of these cars, and I really like the smaller, compact feel of the M2. I think you guys did a bang-up job on this car. I wasn't a really big fan of the color as a launch color, but the way you guys have built it and made it more aggressive, it's a nice juxtaposition of that pastel color, but give it enough of the loud race car feel to the car. So you guys have done a great job.
So which one would you?
Well, that's what we're talking about, and that's what we've been talking about all week since we've had the cars.
Okay.
And then in the engine, you got the KW Motorsports kit, correct?
V4 Club Sports.
V4 Club Sports. So this is super high-end technical. It's a V4 series, all the adjustability you need. Again, the fall line strut bar, the Eventuri intake. Compared to both of them, I really like the matte finish on the engine cover and the intake. I definitely think it goes with the Motorsports vibe. We actually cut it out and put the CSF billet intake manifold on this week, and it looks awesome. So I think I love the heritage roundels on this one.
Yep.
A lot of really nice touches. You know, the carbon. Yeah, look at this. All carbon. This is a beautiful car. So Keith, you guys have outdone yourselves.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
We'll see which one we like more when we judge the cars. So. Stay tuned for that one.
Sounds good, man.
Thank you, Keith. I really appreciate it, man. We got Casey here.
He's been driving the M4.
He's been driving the M4. He thinks it's his car.
So I'm pretty biased.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard one. I like the M2.
Yeah, I like the M2.
The CSL seats is a next level, you know. The CSL parts that they put in it, it's definitely a top level build. All the Alpha N stuff that's been painted, exposed carbon. It's a really nice car. It's stick. You can't beat this. So I really like what I'm seeing with this one. I'm here with Paul, the owner of Son of Cobra. He's built this amazing 2002. It's been around the scene for the last couple of years since you released it at Legends a couple years ago, right? Legends of the Autobahn?
Yeah, 3 years ago now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's just been racking up awards every show he goes to for Best in Show because honestly, it truly is. We've actually selected this for our Best of Show award here today. So we would like you to tell you a little bit, can you tell us a little bit more about the car?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, we started from the bare chassis. It's a 1969, 1602, and then we basically replaced the whole body, all the panel, all the metal skin are made out of carbon fiber to reduce the weight and modified to be able to put a S14 motor into it with a 5-speed from the E30 M3, and then basically chasing weight on every single part of the car. So carbon fiber dash, all carbon fiber, the door skin, fenders, roof.
So you got a full carbon resto mod car. What color is this?
This is called Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, it's a Florida green. It's a factory color from the catalog. You can see all the little detail, like lightweight door handle. We reproduce the plastic door handle, every single part, all the doors, all the mechanism for the windows. Everything has been drilled out, make it lighter. Subframes. We have KW suspension, two-way, custom made for the car.
It's so impressive, Paul. I mean, I've built a ground-up resto mod. That's won Best of Shows. I've taken it to SEMA.
Okay.
I know all the details that I'm looking at, how much work has gone into this.
Yeah.
And I think it really takes a car builder like myself or someone who's at that level to really be able to appreciate all the details. Because most people might walk up to this car and be like, oh, nice car.
Yeah.
But they don't realize how much work has actually gone into the car.
Yeah, it's my intention too. It's like as more as you look at it, as more you find like little detail. Yeah. Like from all the little hinges from the hood trunk, everything has been lightened.
I love the dry carbon plenum that you have.
Yeah, we made that too.
What's the engine in here one more time?
It's a S14 2.3 liter.
Okay.
Obviously a little build up, but we still have the stock cam, stock headers. We like to keep a little bit of drivability as well. And then And then with the weight of the car, we have plenty of power. It's
and
enough.
you're going to start offering these completely for sale, correct? I mean,
Yes,
this is
we
the plan.
offer parts and then full restoration, full build.
Wow.
We already have are like 2 years booked out already.
Wow, so he's 2 years booked out if you want to get one of these Son of Cobra 2002s. It's an exceptional car. It's like executed so well from the color choice, which is always really hard to nail.
Yeah,
I love the color because it invites you in to see all the details.
Yes.
I think it's one of those understated colors that works well with the car because it allows you to get intimate with the vehicle. You start to look at all the different, like the door handle and all the different details that are all around this vehicle. You want to spend time with it.
Correct.
And that's why we selected it for Best of Show. So
cool.
we really appreciate you coming. We're going to be announcing you soon. Honestly, it wasn't even hard to choose.
Okay, cool.
Because your car is just that much of like such a standout build, and
Yeah,
wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much.
You've really done a great job
Thank
on
you
this
so
car.
much. Can't wait for the CSF radiator.
Yeah, absolutely. And check that out. We've actually been working with Paul, and we're going to be releasing our own 2002 Radiator exclusive Son of Cobra edition. That's going to be available in about a month. And we're really excited about that. He's been a good development partner, so thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you so much, guys.
I'm with Kyle here. Kyle Van Haan, is that correct?
Van Hoften, you got most of
Hoften, okay. Yeah. And he's part of BMW CCA LA chapter,
Sure,
right?
yes, sir.
And he's helped us out planning this event. And we've kind of called him in to, he kind of organized this whole heritage corral that we have here of 4 exceptional cars. You know, Alan and I are going to admit where we're short when it comes to BMW, and that's really when we come to the very classic stuff. So anything like pre-E30, you know, like even in the 2002, we start to we have a little bit of limited knowledge. So we wanted to bring you in to really kind of keep the credibility of the awards we're giving out, to kind of tell us a little bit more about this cars. So why don't we start with this one?
Sounds good.
We got 2 categories left that we haven't picked. It's Best Unicorn and Best Classic. So Unicorn is a little tough because we have a G81 wagon from the UK.
Yes.
But you've also told us that some of these might be a contender for those awards as well as Best Classic. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about these cars?
All right, so what we have here, let's walk around and get on the other side of you here.
Okay.
It looks like a 2002 from the front. That also includes the 1600 line. But as you come around, you can actually see this is one of the rare Bauer cabriolets. It's a Targa style car. When BMW and Bauer made this conversion, they couldn't call it a Targa because Porsche owned the name, but it's essentially this centerpiece just like a Targa style, and this is how it came from Bauer converting it for BMW. This car specifically is obviously more preservation class, but it's true in the this is what you could get in other countries, not the US. So as far as Unicorn, it was never sold to the US, just like the G81 wagon has not been sold in the US either. So as you come around the back, you can see that it is a square, 2002. This is made after 73. They did also make these in the round taillights, which are often more sought by some, but it doesn't make it a better car. So this panel at the top actually comes off. So this also comes off to make it almost like a full convertible.
Wow.
So this piece will come off and can be stowed.
So only this piece will stay on the
Yeah,
car.
this
so
piece
it's a full
remains.
Targa type style car.
Yeah, and the doors
But
are
the
framed.
back is off too. Okay.
Right,
wow.
and that made the doors are framed in this differently. Well, pardon me, I guess they're not here, but this frame remains here while this panel comes off.
Wow. Okay. I mean, and this guy's obviously kept this in complete original condition. You can see all the patina on the car. You know, the seats upholstery is kind of coming apart, but that's just the vibe and the look and the feel of the car. So you have to respect it. You know?
And in fact, he still has, if you peek in there again, you can see the 8-track.
8-track.
Got an actual 8-track going on in there.
Yeah.
And this is Ben Miller's car, and he has a lot of old classics like this. He's with 2002 AD, which does a lot with restoring and getting parts to people. So this is a unique one. You probably aren't going to see many of these on the road.
And what's the motor in this car?
This is an M10.
M10.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. And then what do we got with some of these other cars here? Maybe you can just give us like a little bit of a brief overview.
Yeah, this is another really good, beautiful. It's a Malaga colored 2002. It's a 74. You can see it's fully functional because you can see the kid seats in the back.
That's insane.
And the kids that came in those seats running around behind it. So George brings this car out to a bunch of events. Really beautiful car, runs great, just a beautiful car. Good example, just a really nice car. So that car was sold in the US, and again, this is a 74. So if you're actually looking for one, pre-smog check, no smog needed. Much better.
What's the color on that car?
It's called Malaga.
Malaga.
Some call it Malaga.
Malaga.
essentially
beautiful.
a maroon, basically. Yeah.
It's a really nice car. I mean, I would have even said like all these cars, like some of these that I'm looking at, were all contenders for best in show. You know, just the classic period correct, how nice they are. I mean, I'm limited knowledge on these cars, but just looking at them, you have to appreciate it. And like the vintage era of it, the fact that they're in such good condition, and how difficult it is to keep a car like this as restored and as clean as possible, really has a good testament to the owner about what they care about their car.
No, that's a really good point too, because we were probably going to have more cars here, but because the classic cars just aren't as reliable, some of them either didn't make it, or the owners probably said, you know what, I'm not going to push it for that kind of drive. But this car, to your point, they drive it everywhere. You'll see this at different events and all over the place. They're not afraid to put miles on it, and I think a really big testament, they stuck their grandkids in it.
Yeah.
So you know they know this car is really a good, reliable car.
Cool. And what do we got with these two?
So this is the E9 Coupe here, and this is the E3 Bavaria. So this is another Ben Miller car like the Bauer. This came to the U.S. in a CS guise. So the I is obviously the injection. It didn't come to the U.S., but you see a lot of folks have upgraded the models or imported them. So a CSI is very rare, was not sold in the U.S. You can see the interior is just amazing, so you got to check this out. Got the wood trim dashboard. It's just incredible. That's how it came back in the early 70s. This is probably 73. Some people watching this might be able to figure out I'm not 100% sure on that. Then as you come here, we've got the roundels here on the pillars, which was brought back by the X2. When that came out, they brought that treatment back. And then you see the back of it is just remarkable. And he went mic drop on it and gave us a tow hitch, which is just like another, okay. I can't tell you he tows, but I can tell you if Ben Miller has a tow hitch on his car.
And lastly, what do we got here?
This is George's car, BMW Snake Pit, if you follow on IG. Just a fantastic build.
What color is this?
It's a ruby, and I believe it's a Porsche color.
Oh, it's like a ruby stone color.
Yeah, so it's not a traditional BMW color,
which I like.
I love mods like that.
OEM
and this would definitely be considered a resto mod. You can see the stance, a little bit different. Wow. These wheels, obviously, a little after the period, but still they look great on the car, in my opinion. If you get in on that interior, you'll see some of that M-Rain cloth. I'm probably not using the exact proper term.
Oh, but he's got the color, like he got that. That's awesome.
Yeah, he brought the colors in through there.
Wow.
And it's just love the touches. I love the Momo steering wheel, and it can drive. He moves. He brought it out to a couple other BMW CCA events, and when you put those seats together, you got me, because I'm a big fan of those seats. But the color, the drivability, the uniqueness. So. This is a tough dynamic with this many cool cars here.
You know, I was until you kind of pointed out the details. Like this car actually might even fall into best OEM plus.
I can see that. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, it's got period correct stuff, but it's got obviously the paint job, the wheels, the rain seats. I mean, it's almost like you got classic, modified, OEM plus all into one, and it's an exceptional build. The color really hits on the car
and
too.
You don't see a lot of E3 Bavarias, so the fact that he's built it back to a drivable, survivable, beautiful car that he can bring out, I think that's even better, because it's not a garage queen. He's built it to drive, so OEM plus is a great definition.
So if we're talking about best unicorn, how many of these are out there?
I would say more, because it was available, but it was available 50 to 60 years ago.
Yeah, wow.
So at that point, almost anything 50 to 60 years ago, excluding some people I know, but I mean, are rare to see. So I would consider this a unicorn. Find another one is that line, right?
Yeah.
How many times are we going to see this rolling down the street?
So hard question, Kyle. Best unicorn, what are you picking?
Oh, you making me pick now? Oh gosh, so no, really?
Yeah. Live on camera, you're picking the car. He's picking the winner right now.
Which category?
Unicorn.
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 If I'm picking between these four,
yes.
If I'm picking between these four, I think the eyeballs that I've seen people when they're looking at this, it probably has to be the Bauer Cabriolet, because we just don't see those.
Yep.
We've got a lot of people look at that and go, oh, it's a 2002. And as we even looked at it, we said, oh, and the roof panel comes off. Oh, and the back drops. And the history behind it, they made 2,300 of them total in all the years. 2317, I think, is the official number. They weren't sold in the U.S. originally. So any that you see, And if it's a 74, the math on that of how old that car is, the fact that they weren't sold here originally, and here's one right here in the CSF shop, that probably has to check the unicorn box the biggest.
Okay.
The rest could qualify. If he weren't here, yes, all these too.
Yeah.
But that, I love it in the preservation dynamic too, because that's so. To me, it's an example of that's why it's a unicorn.
Yeah.
Because that's where it is right now. So I guess they're gonna hate me, but that's about after.
So we got a really hard decision to make. Kyle's picked this one, and who owns the car? What's his name?
Ben Miller.
Ben Miller.
He lives in Pomona.
Okay.
Got a shop there, O2 shop.
And you know, we're kind of debating right now between this one and the G81 wagon. So we got basically a brand new 2023 wagon from the UK versus a 74. So we're literally talking about a 50-year difference in cars.
And just for the record, I'm a wagon
and
fan.
he's a wagon guy.
So that was tough for me to say, because I'm about to move to the UK just to get one of those.
But here's the thing, even, how many of these are left in Europe? Not many. How many of them are left in the world?
Right,
Not many.
not many.
So I think if we got to be impartial, even though that's a CSF car and we're sponsoring it and that's like new and hip and fun, I think we got to do our job and really give it to this one. So Alan, why don't we go slap a sticker on the window for Ben Miller's 74 Bauer Cabriolet. I want to thank Kyle from BMW CCA LA chapter for all the help in planning this event. It was a lot of work. We've been having literally Zoom meetings once a month for the last 6 months. So they did a great job in supporting the event, getting the word out. We got a great turnout, and really thank you for making it happen. And it's great to kind of get to know you from this event. Let's do it again.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Definitely have to do it again.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it again.
It's been great for everybody out there. This has been awesome.
Cool.